Welcome to the Winner's Playbook with Steve and Josh. Disclaimer: the information contained in this podcast is general in nature and does not take into account your personal circumstances. Please head to the show notes if you wish to book a free 15-minute call to discuss your personal situation.
Guys, welcome back to the Winners Playbook. My name is Steve. I'm here with my colleague and director of Link, Josh. Josh, how are you going, mate? And what's the latest in life these days?
Yeah, mate. Good. Always something new, as I probably say every single time. But we're a month out from Christmas now, so it's a bit of a mad dash to the end of the year. But it's just a consistent flow of we're helping out our clients every week. I don't think any week as an advisor is ever the same. I don't know about you, Steve, but every week has got its challenges and good parts and bad parts as well. But I've got plenty of clients reaching out for different things, business opportunities that they've been offered by their employer and, buying homes and things like that. So there's just always something, I think, to keep us on our toes, which I actually enjoy. I don't like it being stagnant. I actually like it when it's new things happening all the time, but it's probably much the same on your side, I take it, Steve.
Yeah, it is. I must say this year I haven't really seen it slow down yet. We normally see a fairly big slowdown right about now, but I just haven't seen that this year. It seems to be just a consistent push right to the end. So maybe we might see it push all the way to Christmas by this stage. It'd be interesting to see.
I think so. I'm feeling January might be a little bit more quieter, I think, because everyone's just gone so hard this year. And I think January, everyone might sort of take a bit of the foot off the gas and maybe ease into the new year, because it's definitely been a big one.
Yeah, it definitely has. And mate, on today's topic, balancing and juggling life. This is an interesting one for you and me in particular, but if we dig into a bit and how we balance out and juggle life when you got kids, families, businesses, and everything in between. What's your take on that concept?
Yeah, so it's a really interesting one, and we're probably not the two best guys to be talking about it as well. But I think the starting point is you got to figure out what it is for you. Like we always say, everyone's got different aspirations and things they're trying to achieve in life, and balancing out life. And the term work-life balance is going to look absolutely different for each and every one of us. And I think that's the starting point is just you got to figure out what you actually want in life, because if you've got these big goals and aspirations, whether it is business, personally, or whatever it may be, it's usually going to take a lot of hard work, and to get that done, it's you might have to do some pretty ridiculous hours to actually get out there and achieve those goals. So yeah, the term work-life balance and balancing that all out, I'm not a great fan of that idea. I would say if I was rating myself, I probably don't have that great of a work-life balance, but it's deliberate. Like it's a choice. That's what I'm doing. Like that's what I want to do, and it's for where I am at in my life and where I'm trying to go. It needs to be like that. But I always like to think of it kind of like having seasons, and your life is like seasons. I don't anticipate I'll be going at the rate that I am forever, but for the season that I'm in right now, like I am really trying to buckle down and work. I work every single day and don't think about it twice, but it doesn't feel like work for me either. So I guess there's another part of that is you got to also be able to try find something that you are passionate about that doesn't feel like work when you do it, and you've got some more interest in it, so you are at least enjoying that time when you are working as well, and you're not actually miserable. But what's some of your take on balancing life and work? And you've obviously been in the business now for quite a few years, and how's that been over the journey?
Look, it's interesting. I think for me, it's just like I enjoy myself when I'm working. I think is so. Yeah, look, work-life balance. I think that term work-life balance is for people, to be honest, that don't enjoy their job, right?
Yeah,
That's my take on it, because
fair point.
there should, in my view, if you're enjoying what you do and you're pushing hard, do you need to cut and segregate time like that away from each other? I don't think so. Like, definitely not my point of view. I I religiously probably work every day in some way, shape, or form. I don't think there's a day, even Christmas Day, where I don't be sending emails or collecting emails or inquiries or dealing with particular issues to do with the business. I think it's pretty much 365 days a year. Yes, there's days that I definitely don't do a lot and I back it off on a Sunday or, Saturdays or, maybe even during the week, whatever it may be. But I think every day I work, but that's because I thoroughly enjoy it. And even on
Yeah.
holidays, I'm working. On holidays, I don't enjoy the holiday if I don't do some work during the day each day.
Mm.
And I used to think that was really weird. I used to, like, a lot of people said that I was a bit strange that was the case, and it took my wife, a couple of years to get used to it. But that's
Yeah.
just me. I enjoy the holiday better if I'm working a couple of hours here or there each day. And I
Yeah.
remember at the time I was thinking this would be 15 years ago when I used to do it. And I thought, geez, maybe I am a bit strange. And then I read a good article by the ex-CEO of Virgin Australia, John Borghetti, and
Mm.
he said exactly the same thing. He said he enjoys his holidays more when he does some work each day. And I thought, oh,
Yeah.
hang on a minute, I'm not that odd, like.
Yeah.
So so totally, my balance is that's my balance is I just balance out family, life and work, and it's all together and it's all
Mm.
in effectively. That's my motto. I'm just all in on it all, and you just balance out each day as it comes. And there's some things that are
Mm.
going to bring more attention than others. If it's a family thing I've got to deal with, it's got to go first. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I enjoy working and I enjoy looking for the next business opportunity. So that's my fun, to be honest.
Yeah, it's an interesting take because it's kind of like like I've spoken about a lot of fitness. Like I'm real big into my fitness and working out every day, but that's a part of my identity. And it's just like with the business for us, like it's a part of who we are. And if you then try to force it and neglect it, and like you won't feel yourself, and it'll put you off. Like you just won't feel right. So it's even for me, it's like I have to do a bit of workout, like some way, shape, or form every day. I've got to do it so I feel good. And then even the same, like when we were overseas to Dubai on part business and part a little bit of a holiday, like you have to check the emails, stay on top of things. And it doesn't mean you're definitely not working 12 hours a day, but even if it is just an hour here or there, and it balances itself out. But I think it's just give and take as well. So, like you said, sometimes you're going to be busy with the family and you've got some family commitments or kids schooling or whatever it may be, and stuff will just pop up in life. But then other times it's it's all about the business and growth. And I think that's just how it is. And I don't think any of that can ever be in equilibrium or a perfect balance in any way, shape, or form. And when I look at, like when I try to look at my life, I break down the main aspects of it. And really there's, say, my home life, so my wife and maybe my dog. Don't have any kids just yet, so that's coming soon, I'm sure. But break it down with that. The kids will be there in some time. But then there's your friends and family, probably another category. And then there's probably the business, and then me personally. And at any point in time, I'm not perfect in every category there. Like, sometimes I'm putting too much time towards the business, and then naturally, because of that, I'm not seeing friends and family enough because of it. And I'm okay with that. Like that's a choice I make. But then also it can happen in other ways. So by doing that, you could also be neglecting your personal health. So I don't think you can do all of those things perfectly at any one point in time, but you kind of find your balance. And then for me, it is like living a pretty regimented life. Like I do live a pretty routine, regimented life, and I get my bits and pieces in where I can for all of those. But I feel like I'm well and truly within a season of just growth and really going hard at this point in time. So I'm aware that I am, like, honestly neglecting other areas of my life, but it's a decision that I'm making, and that's what balances for me. But for everyone, it's obviously going to be very, very different.
So for people out there then that are probably on the other side of the spectrum where they realize they're not balancing
Mm.
things well, and they're not achieving probably what they want to achieve in business, or, because they're not allocating the time to it to maybe get the results that they want. What are some key things that people can maybe do there to sort of balance
Mm.
it back out?
Yeah, well, I think you have to start with knowing where you're actually going in life. Like, where's the destination? Where's the, you as the ship, where you're trying to travel to? Without knowing the destination, it's like you can't make a diagnosis or figure out the solution. So you have to figure out what you're actually trying to get out of your life, and that's going to change along the journey. But to get that balance, like I said, for me, really a schedule and routine is crucial to make it happen. Because if you're just living like a sporadic, or you're making random decisions and things happening really off the cuff all the time and you have no routine, like that would drive me crazy. Like I'm a bit of a maybe I'm weird because I like to go away, and if I I like to know what's happening. So you're shaking your head there. So definitely, definitely am weird. But I actually really like to know what's happening. Like I don't necessarily like going into a situation not really knowing what's going on. Or like when we go overseas or something, like I like to have things planned out. Like I don't like to just make a random ad hoc decision, even though we still, of course, would do that. But I'm very regimented, have a routine. And if you're struggling to get that balance in your life, like literally deck out your Monday through to Sunday, and what are you doing and when. So for me, I get up at 4, I'm working out till about 6, I'm back home. I'm in the office just before 8. So you're shaking your head. Yeah, usually in the office before 8. I sort of work through to usually just before 7. Get home, literally just pack my food, and then I'm in bed. And like Monday through to Friday, every week, that's literally my week. Saturday, I have my routine. Usually work for part of the day, and then do stuff with my wife in the second part of it. And then Sunday, same sort of thing. Usually get in a few hours and get some things done, and then set up for the next week ahead. But like that's like that same routine. It does not shift. Like it's always that same routine. And people might think that that's just so boring, but it allows me not to have to think about a lot of little things because it's already there and organized. Like all of parts of my life are just in order. I know what I'm doing and when it's happening, and I don't just have to think about it. So I think getting a schedule and routine in your life, that's a good start. I don't know,
Yeah.
Steve, you got any other pointers you'd throw to that?
Yeah, I was going to say that like routine and structure, I think that's your step one.
Yeah.
Anyone with kids naturally gets that because you just operate on a kid's schedule, which is,
You're
it's
forced.
locked in, right? Like you got to be there, pickups, breakfast, same time. And it just, so that sorts your schedule out because you then work around it. But yeah, get that right. I think that's your step one. Step two is just your passion, right? Like if that gives you your balance, because if you're passionate about what you're doing, whether that's business or personal, that combined with your schedule and your routine
Mm.
probably balances you out, I reckon.
Yep.
Like if I think about, before I got into jobs that I enjoyed, or before I opened up Link really and went out on my own and created my own businesses, in old jobs that I didn't enjoy, that really knocks you out from a work, like a balancing life perspective, because you just
For sure.
didn't enjoy half your day, right?
Yeah.
So that makes it really tough. So I'd say, definitely you got to get your passion. Absolutely. You can make money in any industry. You can be a garbage collector and make lots of money. Just go do whatever your passion is.
Mm.
And combine that with a good routine, like you said, with your gym and me with the kids. And away you go. I think that's your two big takeaways from this.
I think it's a great point now that we thinking about it through. I don't think you can actually have work-life balance if you don't enjoy what you're actually doing for work. Because if you think about that, even if you're working an average day of 8 hours or 9 hours, like there's a third of your life. And if you hate and don't enjoy what you do every day, and when you get up, like I think you've lost it just there. Like you're already behind the 8 ball, and you're never, you're just going to be miserable. So I think, yeah, it's a real starting point to try and figure out what you want. And if you are in a situation where you're not enjoying what you're doing, well, then you're going to have to make a call at some point to make a change. I always hear the quote, "Nothing changes if nothing changes." So you gotta actually make a change. But what about then someone in that sort of situation then, Steve, that is then maybe they're in a career and they're not really finding themselves, or they're really struggling with it and don't really know what to do. Maybe they're not in their late 50s, so they've I think people in their late 50s probably still got time to make stuff happen. But say you're in your late 20s or even 30s or so, and you feel like you haven't found yourself. What would be some of the things, if that was you, what would you think you'd be doing?
Totally, just get the whiteboard out and just write on the whiteboard or draw pictures of what you want to do every day of your life. What is it that makes you happy? Forget all the crap around you should be doing something for a particular reason because of your education or someone steers you that way. Forget it. You just throw that idea out the door. You just absolutely write on a board what makes you happy, what makes you tick, what would make you so excited to get out of bed every day. That's what you got to go do for a job. That's what I did when I was in my 20s, and I was told by everyone I was crazy for leaving one of the big four accounting firms. So I had a great job, probably getting paid okay,
Mm.
long career to get to partner, and I walked out the door because it wasn't what I was passionate about, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. So
Yeah.
I strongly suggest that people just need to do that. And yes, it's tough, like, because you no doubt probably take a pay cut,
Mm.
to do it. If you've gone up the chain a bit with your job, but you've just got to get confident and find ways to make it work. Fill the
Yeah.
gaps and get that passion in your life. It's absolutely crucial. You're not going to be successful at anything if you're not passionate about it. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I think you just got to swing. Like you just got to get out at the plate and actually start
yep.
swinging a bit. So if you don't feel like you're where you need to then be, well, you got to start swinging and trying new things. And I think we spoke about in one of the earlier episodes that we did. With your time, if you're in a job and you hate it, well, that 9 to 5, then do your 9 to 5 because you're gonna have to keep paying the bills probably as well. But then outside of your 9 to 5, what are you doing with your time and where are you spending that? Do you need to further educate yourself? Surround yourself with the right people, get around a mentor or whatever it may be. Like if there's a will, there's always a way
Mm.
to do it. But unfortunately, a lot of people these days, can have a bit of a victim's mindset and, they kind of get in their own way and stop themselves when, there's a lot of time in a year to change your life just in one year alone. But you can't hide the fact that it's definitely hard as well.
Yeah. And mate, what in your rare day you take off? I know you work very hard. What do you do in your time off
Yeah, I'm a
apart from
pretty
the gym?
simple guy, Steve. Yeah, I must say I'm a pretty simple guy, but definitely like getting out and holidaying. That's definitely something I haven't done enough of in my early existence on this earth so far. I definitely haven't traveled enough, but I think, mixing that in with some business now, I like that idea. So getting out and seeing the world, but also looking at opportunities is really good. So definitely need to be starting to do a bit more of that moving forwards. But just talking, even just days off, like I'm such a simple guy. Like I don't require much. Like if it's a day of just really spending time with Alana, my wife, and we're just
The
relaxing
dog?
together. Still going to gym that morning though. Still gym in the morning. I won't take that out because again,
Well,
that's me. That's the routine. So, but it wouldn't be 4 a.m. though. Just so everyone listening, it's not 4 a.m. on say a Saturday or a Sunday. Generally, it wouldn't.
otherwise,
It
that would be
wouldn't be.
really weird.
Yeah, that would could be a bit odd, but yeah, we still definitely get a workout in, but then we might be going out for lunch or dinner. Like I like keeping it casual. Just I'm not one to really go out on the town and hit the bars and clubs up. Like I'm a bit odd in that sense for my age, and didn't really do any of that through my early years as well, which I think is quite odd. But I like it simple, just around friends and close family, and just some quiet drinks and just talking with people and that's me. Like I don't need anything too fancy. That's just the basics for me. And I like to keep my circles small and simple because I find the more people kind of around and it can sometimes be drama as well when you've got so much going on the weekend and so on. So yeah, my perfect day off is just a pretty simple, straightforward day, not much going on, and just really with the wife and friends, family. What about you,
Mm.
Steve?
Yeah, very similar. Obviously, the kids take up a lot of my time, and I spend a lot of time with my
Mm,
family and kids and stuff. And yeah, look, like if we get a takeaway and sit on the couch and have a glass of wine, or during the day we'd get out and about a fair bit, up to the hills and get the kids running around the bush and stuff like that. So we
yeah,
keep it pretty low key. Well, I'm fortunate I've done a lot of that travel, so that's good. And I'm like you got to keep entertaining the world and looking out there. And
mm,
and it looks like we might be doing some stuff around the world, be exciting. But
mm,
I think just keep it entertaining. But yeah, look, I'm the same. You just keep it low key, relaxed, and the
yeah,
week's pretty chaotic, which I sort of like.
yeah.
I like it when it's really busy, and I think you're pretty similar to that. Otherwise, it's a bit dull and boring, to be honest. So
No,
that's what
I
I do
agree.
with it. Yeah.
And what about just then with the kids? Obviously, a lot of people would be listening, I've got kids. How do you make that dynamic work? Is it getting easier as they're getting older? You find is it getting a bit easier now as they're getting older and a bit somewhat more independent in a way, or
Yeah, 100%. Like definitely. My kids are 4 and 8 now, or
yeah,
5 and 8, and it definitely gets easier as they get older, and they understand when dad has to work and not work and things like that. So you can explain it to them a bit easier.
yeah,
I've got a very understanding wife that obviously knows that I've got quite a heavy position
mm,
at work, and so she does a lot of the heavy lifting. And I think being on the same page together with your partner is really important. You know, like with the travel and the intensity of what your work can bring, you've got to be on the same page with that. And I'm fortunate, me and my wife is very supportive of it, and and never not been. You know, she's always
Yep.
been very supportive of it.
Yep.
So that's very much of a helping hand. But it's definitely a balance. Like everyone, it's a juggling act. You know, just allocating your time, and that's why you can't. Like, I prefer not to have the set hours. You know, there's no set hours in life. In my life, it's work, family, balance. Just push hard. Next opportunity, go, 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 and I enjoy that tempo. And it keeps it exciting.
Yeah, and it's obviously something we discuss a lot with our staff as well around, work-life balance. And you can take the view, generally the harder you work, the more money you can earn, but not necessarily earning more money is going to ultimately make you happy as well in life. And that's where we can just keep circling back to, you just got to figure out what it is for you. Because yes, you could maybe be in a role and you work harder and you get paid more dollars, but does that actually even make you happier in life? Or would you rather sort of take a bit of a back step, maybe earn a little bit less, but you do spend more time with your family or your friends or whatever it may be, and then maybe that's work-life balance for you. So
Totally. Great.
yeah. All right. Well, in closing, guys, that's all we got time for today. So thanks everyone, as always, for listening. And if you get some value out of this, do give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, because it does help us out a lot. And if you want to check us out on the socials, as always, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, we're on all of them. And if you do want to have a personal chat with either Steve or myself, you can book in a free 15-minute call if you check out the links in the show notes. But that's all we got time for today, guys. Steve, any parting words before we finish up?
Mate, just get out there and find your passion is my message.
Done. I agree. Have a good one.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.